Good morning, Governor.
Good morning. After hearing that last bit, my public relations people are going, hang up.
Brand new governor, Pat McCrory. And you know what? I have a problem with authority, Governor, so I'm just calling you Governor Pat. Is that okay?
We've heard my public safety people have already talked to me about you.
Yeah, man.
He's a problem child.
Hey, I went to the governor's ball, and I am so Team Pat now. I'm just like, woo! I'm all behind you now.
We had a great week. I had a great week, not just here in Raleigh, but, we traveled all over the state. And my wife showed up, everybody, including me. I mean, she just looked great.
And you know what? She's usually, and I love this about your family, is she is behind the scenes, has no desire to be out, in the limelight. And you kind of have to appreciate that, because you can imagine the majority of wives would not want to be out there. And it just makes your family seem to me so down to earth.
Well, thanks. She has no interest in the spotlight. In fact, when she worked to go work the Durham rescue mission last week, she had invited no press there. She didn't allow any cameras. In fact, one person broke that rule and took some pictures because she's real sensitive about. She went there for a reason, not to get publicity, and she did that instead of doing a first lady's breakfast for $500 a couple or something. She said, "The heck with that. People are hurting. We'll go to the Durham rescue mission," and she loved it. But she's never been interviewed by the media, by the way.
Good job.
She refuses to talk to them. She just says, "That's your gig. I'll do my own thing," and I respect that.
Absolutely. So we were just talking about Obama and the gun laws that are coming out now, and the fact that down at the fairgrounds this weekend there's a gun and knife show. And what's your opinion about guns and how it's handled right now and in the future?
I think we've got plenty of gun laws on the book. And the fact of the matter is we don't enforce a lot of those gun laws, especially with existing criminals. And I've seen it in North Carolina where we don't enforce the existing laws. So I say to both the pro and anti-gun people, there are enough laws on the books. Let's work with the laws we have on the book regarding background checks, regarding everything else. We don't need any more laws. Oh, by the way, to the anti-gun people, all you're doing is getting people to buy new guns.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be huge this Saturday.
You're putting more guns out on the street by publicizing that you might take away guns, which is just foolish. I mean, This is what we just enforce the laws that we have on the books at this point in time. Whatever happened to where all we were going to do was talk about the economy? Wasn't the economy the number one issue?
And so what are we going to do here in North Carolina? And number one, I'm a big fan because you don't look like the Riddler. So I'm really happy about that. And I think you're going to really, whenever somebody like ABC, CBS, NBC, when they come to North Carolina because something bad has happened, I'm so happy to have a governor that actually has some common sense and will step up and say what needs to be said. And I know you'll do that, and I'm very excited about it.
Well, thanks. It's an honor to be here. I'm sitting in my office right now in the old Capitol building, and it's just, I'm really honored to have this position, and it's going to be a lot of work. We're working 15, 16 hours a day, but I'll be pretty blunt and direct to people on what's working and what's not working and what we need to do. I don't beat around the bush. I was that kind of mayor for 14 years, and I anticipate being that type of governor where
Good.
Did you actually
I'll tell it the way it is, but I'm going to have fun while having the job, too.
Did you actually move into the governor's mansion, or are you staying somewhere else?
We have moved into the governor's mansion. It's quite a change for my wife and I. We lived in a 2,500 square foot house, and to move into this thing is one room is bigger than our old house.
Are you allowed to paint it, though?
The ceilings are like 16 feet high, but we had to go buy 2 mattresses. They were laying on the floor.
Can you paint the color of it?
Buy mattresses. What's that?
Can you paint it? Because it's like
it looks
Darth
like the
Vader's
Munsters.
mansion. Yeah, it's kind of dark. Can you paint that mansion?
It does need painting. There's some major issues with some of the construction repair. And not only that, but there are 4 or 5 beautiful houses in that neighborhood that are owned by the state of North Carolina that they just let go down. I mean, I'm afraid the mayor of Raleigh is going to call me up and fine me for state property right near the governor's mansion. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing where the state has just let properties that they own fall apart, and that's not good for that neighborhood. Plus, I had a building catch on fire the other day That was my first day.
Yeah, welcome.
The administration building caught on fire where all the governor's staff is. So how am I doing so far?
Well, we're all dog lovers, and we hear that you have a dog. Does your dog have any? Does he get special treatment now that he's in the governor's mansion?
We haven't moved. I miss my dog. You brought up a very sensitive subject between my wife and I. We're going to bring the dog hopefully this weekend for the first time, and we're trying to do a slow roll with my dog. It's a Humane Society dog that we got a year ago, and he's my child.
Is he
He's
spoiled?
My wife's child. Huh?
Is he spoiled?
He's a mama's boy. He's the most spoiled thing in the world.
Isn't his name Mo?
It's Mo.
Mo.
Yeah. And he was found at a train station, and no one would take him, and he was within hours of being put down. And he's the best dog we've ever had. We love him to death, but we haven't brought him yet because living in this place is just a change. There are all these people around, and we want to make sure he adapts. The people adapt. He's 85 pounds, brown lab part boxer, and he's just great. But I haven't seen him in 2 weeks. This is the longest I've ever been without my dog. So you're hitting a tough spot for me right now.
This is nice. You're going to do great things for the state, but let's get down to what's really important.
Okay.
Duke, Carolina, or state?
Catawba College.
Hey.
I went to Catawba, man. I mean, I'm a small college boy. But, being governor, I'm going to root for the state universities, although I love Seth Curry at Duke.
Oh, yeah.
His dad's a good friend of mine in Charlotte and used to play for the Hornets. And I love the two boys. I've watched them grow up as mayor. I knew them when they were 5 and 6 years old. And to see those two young men develop and grow. So I really like the Curry guys with Duke. I love the new coach at NC State. The way he plays, although I'm disappointed in that loss last night.
To Maryland.
And Carolina's got some work to do right now. I think they're hurting right now.
So my brother actually plays tennis at Catawba College, and he's struggling a little bit. His major is, I think it's called leisure activities or something. So is there hope for him? Like, one day he could be the governor.
You might want to call me. I went through that period in life, too.
Okay.
We're talking to brand new governor, Pat McCrory, and so many things that we want to know about you because you just seem so down to earth. And, the first thing that you're excited about doing is what? And other, don't give me the governor speak. Just be honest. The one thing you're most excited about changing in North Carolina?
Oh, boy. It's the economy. The people are hurting out there right now. I'll tell you, the thing I'm most excited about changing in North Carolina government is the culture of customer service. And just treat people as customers and not as adversaries. Like the first thing we're going to fix is the DMV. So when you go to DMV, they'll actually say, hey, welcome, we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
And get you through the line quickly.
Can we also ask for people that work the drive-through to be able to speak clear English? Is that a problem?
Well, we're going to first work on that on DMV.
Right. Okay.
I went to DMV and got my license renewed a year ago, and, I waited an hour and 45 minutes, and nothing had changed since when I got my first driver's license in Jamestown, North Carolina in 1973.
All right. My last question as it pertains to this kind of thing, and especially the DMV, it's always been kind of crazy to me that the state of North Carolina provides, and so last time I heard, I think it was like $200,000 they had to spend on Spanish language tests for people that can't even read English. So if you can't read English, how can you drive and see all of the words about, slow here, working ahead, all those? How do you know if you can't read English?
The timing of your question is amazing because I actually had a discussion with my DOT, Tony. The general here from Wake County is my DOT director, and we're even questioning some of the tests at this point in time to see if they even make any difference because it seems as though they basically let you pass regardless.
Yeah, they tell you the answers. If you screw up, they tell you the answers.
Right, and so we're doing a whole reevaluation of the whole process to get a license and what you need to do and what you don't need to do. And this was a conversation we actually had yesterday. with Tony Tata, our new DOT secretary.
Now, you know we have to ask you one crazy question. So are you a boxer or brief man? I'm sure you don't get that very often.
You know, I'm not getting
Say
into
commando,
that.
and that'll clear everything up.
I'll let Clinton talk about that.
Hey, listen, you're so nice to talk to us today, Governor Pat McCrory. Thank you so much. We're so proud of you, man.
You guys take care. Look forward to talking to you in the future. And I'm glad to call Raleigh my new home.
All right, buddy. All right.
Take care.
See you later. Have a good day. Bye. What a nice guy, man.
I like him a lot.
He's funny. He has a little sense of humor.
Yeah. I am a little disappointed that his people told him about me.
Everybody tells them about you, though.
Yeah.
That's not okay. But
Yeah.
see, I'm harmless.
Well,
But
see,
I'm
on
not
the
gonna add-
phone, he said, okay, now I've been having people that have been listening to the show this morning. So he seemed a little concerned, and he's like, and Bob, what's he going to ask me? I said, well, we're just going to have fun.
Yeah.
We're just going to have fun.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay.
Isn't that okay? I hope, fingers crossed, both fingers and my toes, that he's going to be the best governor ever. I really hope so. I believe so. I hope so.
He was beloved in Charlotte, so.
Yeah, and he was there 14 years, and people love him.
But I'm telling you, we have talked to, in 20 years I've been here, we've talked to 1, 2, 3 different governors. And of those governors, not one person was as genuine and open as this guy was. Not one.
I love the fact that his wife, too, said no cameras, because you know how you say they do it for publicity, and the fact that she did that at the Durham Rescue Mission without any publicity.
Love
I
it.
love that.
And the fact, didn't he say she's never been interviewed by the media?
Yeah.
I like
That's
that.
amazing.
Yeah, that's
It's
your
hard.
thing. I like that because that's what my wife would say.
Well, yeah, your wife doesn't want to be on
Yeah.
the radio with us.
It's a you thing. You just have fun with your little job.
Your
Just
little
enjoy it.
job.
I guarantee you that Miss McCrory said the same thing to him. You know what? Just go do your little job. He's the governor. Yeah, just go do your little job. I'll worry about you later. That's cool. I love that.